Welcome everyone. So anyway, we're going to get started here. My name is Brandon Wise. I am the CEO and founder of Wise Agent. And today I will be your host on becoming a Wise Agent. I am very thrilled today to welcome our guest on becoming a Wise Agent. Joining us is none other than Burton. She's a dynamic 19-year veteran broker owner of CMB Realty Services, inspiring trainer, coach, and sought-after speaker at real estate events across the country. She's actually sitting in a hotel room right now, taking a break from an event she's at in California. In addition to her remarkable work in real estate, Kama is also the founder of Loving Me First, and that's a nonprofit for mentoring young girls, and we'll get you guys some information about that later. And we just saw in her free time, in all her free time, she was just earned an honorary doctorate in humanities. So congratulations, Kama. Her passion for empowering real estate professionals and her commitment to excellence have really made her a true leader in our industry. From building her own brokerage to sharing her expertise on stages nationwide, she brings a wealth of knowledge and experience. Get ready for an insightful and motivating conversation with someone who's truly making waves in real estate. Welcome, Burton.
Thank you for that. Every time I hear my bio, I'm like, is that me? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Well, I'm excited to have you on. So we're going to just kind of start going over some questions, but as we were getting started, when we were talking last week, Kama mentioned to me that she uses a digital business card, and I wanted you to just kind of tell that little story and what the name of that card is, because we did get people asking what are some other technologies other than Wise Agent, so I thought that would be a good one just to kick it off with, since you actually had an experience with us.
Sure. I'm going to give a quick little story about that, because I tell you, you have to embrace change, right? So I am one of those people that like old school stuff, old school business cards, thinking I have to have them all the time in my hand. And I was honored to be a part of the National Association of Realtors Leadership Academy back in 2022, and we had to do what you call a capstone and come up with something that we felt was going to be good for the real estate industry. Where our capstone that my group had chosen was something that a lot of people are using now, which was an electronic business card. And this was, post-pandemic. And a lot of people were like, oh, we won't be using business cards anymore, which we still do. But I was still not ready to embrace the change. And while I'm sitting here kind of pouting about, why do we choose this? I ended up being probably one of the biggest supporters of this thing because of all the functions that it has. So we looked at this thing, it's called Popl, that's Popl. So Popl, we started to use Popl and see how it would work as realtors. And with me being a speaker and a trainer as well, I just seen all of these great features. I can upload any of the presentations that are in there. It's a great way to connect with new buyers and new sellers. When I meet them, they put their information in, it automatically comes to me. And it also, one of my favorite features is that if just say I forgot to reach out to someone, I can go back like a couple of months and I'll send them something and it automatically says, hey, it was great meeting you on September 24th. It has such great features. Wow. And so I started using that, and that's what I use to keep all of my leads and any information that I get from my clients to speaking clients and coaching clients. And it's just been absolutely amazing. So I use it, and now we've integrated it with Wise Agent. So it's just that much better. It's helping me really streamline my system. So that's what I use. It has a QR code. You can tap your phone. It has you can use a wristband. It has a business card. You can tap it to somebody's phone. It has all types of stuff. So that's what I use.
We love hearing about it. There's so many great technologies out there, and we
Yeah.
love hearing about them. And then we also love to see how can we make that integrated and work with your CRM, and that's what we are great at doing. And so as soon as Kama told me that's what she's using, I said, well, let's see if we can get this thing integrated. And so now today, when you get leads in, they drop right into your Wise Agent account as well.
Correct. Absolutely. Yep, they do. They absolutely do.
I love it. Love it. All right. Well, I'm just gonna start hitting you with some questions, and
Sure, let's go.
you just take it from there, and
Yes.
whatever you want to go. So we got a lot of questions about coming into the holidays in an already slow market. What are some of the things as a broker you are doing to generate business during the holidays, and what are you telling your agents they should be doing in an already slow market, and kind of worried about where we're getting ready to go with the holidays in their heads, slowing things down even more?
Sure. Well, for my business, I'm going to start off with me. I am a firm believer on a CRM. Okay. If you are not using the CRM, you are missing out on business. I don't care what kind of season it is. I'll tell you that because literally in the last week, I've received four calls total. Two of them were referrals or past clients. I'm sorry, two were past clients. The rest were referrals. So what I've been doing is I reach out to my past clients. I keep in front of my past clients very often. Even before I was using it, I'm going to be very transparent. I didn't use a CRM. I'll be honest with you. I talk about it, I train on it, but I wasn't taught about it when I got into the business. It wasn't until I started getting deep into the business where I found that a CRM was super, super important. So I began to reach out to people. And one of the things that I've been doing is I do a lot of social media. I love doing videos. And I don't just do it on real estate. A lot of my videos are just, I try to inspire people because I always go through stuff and it's almost like me inspiring myself, but I'm able to help other people as well. So I have a lot of following, and people, they know what I do. They know that I'm a realtor and a broker. They don't question. So a lot of my business comes from that, to be honest. Keeping my social media up. Matter of fact, one of the leads I got was because somebody Googled me. And I believe that your social resume is social media, or social resume is everything, meaning that your Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, whatever it is that you use, LinkedIn, website, we can get free websites. We'll talk about that at a different time, but make sure ensuring that that is up to date. And it actually, last Monday, I received a call. I linked the person with a lender. They were pre-qualified. We signed a buyer's representative form, and we are out looking. As a matter of fact, I just wrote an offer for them last night, and we're moving. So it's just because I'm out there and I keep myself relevant. And that's how I'm getting business. As far as my agents go, one of the things, it's a holiday. I just told one of my agents, put something together. We have something called Canva. Canva, you can use the free version or you can use the paid version. And I tell agents, look, you are a business owner. I want you to keep that in mind. At the end of the day, you are a business owner. I don't care if you're a broker or a realtor, you are an independent contractor. You have to make sure that you invest into yourself. So when people say, well, how much is it? $15 a month. I don't want to spend that. It's an investment, because if you're making money, you need tax write-offs, right? So you can write that off. Anyway, so I tell them, use Canva or find someone to help you put something together where it says home for the holidays. Use this time to put things out there. I've done it in the past where I put it out there. Get ready to be home for the holidays. Get out of the mindset of, well, what if they don't get pre-approved? That's not your business. You want them home for the holidays. It may not be Christmas or Thanksgiving. It might be Valentine's Day. Right. You know, it might be Memorial Day. I don't know. It's for a holiday, right? So think big and start, and don't think too in depth where you talk yourself out of doing that. So I'm having my agents do that. They're currently updating their CRM, making telephone calls. One of my agents just called me, texted me the other day and said, you know what, from the phone calls that we're making, because what I'm having them do is take their phone every single day. They get a text from me at 8 o'clock every morning, and I give them a letter. So yesterday, I don't know what today's letter is because I posted it. Yesterday was the letter J. Everyone with the letter J in their phone, they were to call them, check on them, update their CRM by updating birthdays and addresses and things like that in order for them to get business. And I'm telling you, it's starting to rumble. They're starting to get the phone calls. So it's just all about them staying active. And those are the things that I'm teaching them to do during this time, is to really start digging deep now. So that way they could potentially get business, you know, within the next week, couple of weeks, or even a couple of months.
Yeah, no, that's great. So there's still business out there. You just have to be active. And I think right now there's so many things that we're just seeing in the industry and in the whole country. just has people
Absolutely.
paralyzed, and they're not doing the basic things like you said, making calls. You've put a little fun to it and a little accountability by sending that text out and giving them a random letter,
Yes.
and you all have that same letter J in your database. So she's basically just saying, pick up the phone and call these people, and if nothing else, just say, hey, I was calling to make sure I still have your correct email address.
Yeah.
How are you doing? And just start a conversation with them. So
Yeah, and also to that point as well, I told them, you may not have a ton of J's in your phone, but you have social media. So go find those people on social media that has that letter and reach out to them, send them a text, check on them, pay attention to birthdays, things like that, and that will help you stay relevant and top of mind.
and the Canva, are you after they create these images, then are they emailing those out? Is that how they're getting this to their
Well,
database?
I'm telling them to post it on social media. I'm a
Oh,
firm,
okay.
huge believer on social media because although people are very quiet on social media, they're not talking, but they are actually watching. They're seeing what
Yes.
you do. I will tell you, I go a lot of places and people always tell me, "Oh, I'm following you on Facebook. Oh, I see you on Facebook," because that's my thing is Facebook. And it feels good because even though they may not say anything, I know that they're out there. Most of my business comes from referrals or Facebook because I stay out there, stay relevant. So that's the way I told them to do it. I've even told them to text it out to their sphere and those in their database as well, just to see if they have anyone. It may not be that person that just bought a home, but they may know somebody that does it.
So and when she says stay out there, comma is out there. She is speaking out. You're gonna have to give us a quick rundown of where you're
Sure,
talking over the next couple of weeks, and also running different services just for the community and helping out.
sure. Yep.
You're staying out there, and you told me that's even been leading to business.
Yeah, absolutely. So as a realtor, we sell the community, right? This is what we do. We're in the community. We're supposed to know the community. We sell the community. We should give back to the community. And that is one of the biggest things that is very rewarding for me, not just financially, but just in my heart. I love the fact that I'm able to give back. So I have a nonprofit that I have. It's called Loving Me First. And through this nonprofit, I help young girls build self-esteem. I help them understand who they are, become more self-aware because we live in a world that's they have us comparing ourselves to other people. We even do it here in our own business. We look at other realtors and other brokers and feel like, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to compete with this person? And it's honestly, we're collaborators. We don't have to be competitors. But what happens is it gets into our head. Then we start questioning who we are and why we're doing the things that we do. And are we not good enough? Or, we start questioning ourselves on things. So I'm teaching young ladies to not question themselves, but be strong and be confident in that. And out of that, I'm even going into speaking not just to them, but to people within our industry. I've spoken across the nation. I've spoken for my state, which is the California Association of Realtors. I've spoken for all types of groups, Realtor.com, different groups out there where I help empower other realtors and brokers to understand who they are and be strong in who they are, and also to understand their business. And I'm just going to tell you this, I get business from it. I kid you not. This year, I just closed my sixth referral deal just this year. I had never closed referral deals like I've closed this year. I may have closed one every other year, maybe, but this year I've closed 6 deals just from being involved, not only in my community, my community I live in, but the real estate community as well. Because there's a lot of people that say, well, why would I connect with other realtors? If you're in Alabama, you're not selling in California, right? And even in California, I just sent one of my repeat clients, they want to move to Sacramento. I've sold 2 properties, a property for their nonprofit, a property for their own personal property, and they just bought a property in Sacramento, which is Northern California. And I was able to give that referral to someone that I know. So I stay actively involved and I do the things I do. Again, not just it's not just financially rewarding, but it is financially rewarding. So those are the things that I do, and it's just been a blessing to be able to connect with people in those ways.
I love that. I love it. So being passionate about wanting to truly help other people
Yes.
without even a mindset of, hey, this is going to turn into business over and over. That's what keeps on happening is it turns into business. So if it's slow and you feel like I've already called everyone in my database, do get out there and help some volunteer. She's volunteering for youth groups and then turning it into business, and so it's getting your name out and people see and then they hear, oh, she's also a broker, and
Yes.
that comes,
Well, I'll tell you, I closed my first $2 million property about 3 years ago because of the work I do in the community. The person I was just telling you about, ironically, this person was looking for a space in our city, and I was able to locate the space. And although it took a year, it's okay, but we still closed the deal. I also closed them on a about $475,000 deal. So just out of that, I made, and then they closed on another deal that was 300,000, a little over 300. So almost $3 million of sales that I closed with one person from my community involvement. And I don't go in saying, waving my realtor flag, hey, I can sell you a property. That's not what I do. I go in with a servant heart. And that's why I tell people, you find something that you love and that's near and dear to me. So building self-esteem is near and dear to me because I personally was in a domestic violence marriage. I was controlled. I went through a lot of things, and I realized I stayed as long as I did because of low self-esteem. So my goal was, how can I help get the word out to let people know that you have to build who you are, so that way you can get what you want out of life. And I tie that back into real estate because this can be a dog eat dog world. And if we are not strong and confident in who we are, then it's going to be harder for us to really succeed and excel because, too, it gets into our mind, right? We start telling ourselves that we're not good enough. I'll never be able to be this. I'll never be able to do that. And if we don't start pouring positivity into our hearts, into our minds, and telling ourselves, yes, I am successful. I am a great agent. I am a great whatever it is that you think you are, it's going to be harder for you. So again, it's just part of what I do, that even in my trainings for real estate, and I train a lot of agents, through that, I always have to bring it back to understanding who you are, loving who you are first. So that'll build confidence in your business.
I love that. Love it all. Kind of playing off that last question. And what are you and what are you telling your agents to be doing now while it's kind of slow to get their everything, their ducks in a row for next year
Yes.
when they know the business is going to be coming? What should they be working on now when they aren't even feeling motivated? And I think motivation is,
It's
I, yes.
Well, I'll tell you, we have already done our 2025 business planning. September 17th, we do our business planning every single September. The reason being is that you have to prepare for the future now. You can't wait till January to do so. So what we're doing, I have now these office hours that I have in my office every Thursday that I'm in town. I'm in the office for my agents from 11 to 3. And what we're doing is we are going through their social media. We're going through their website and making sure that everything is up to date. I'm having them to go work on Google reviews. I'm having them to just kind of clean up who they are on social media, because we talk about that social media resume. So I'm having them work on that. I'll tell you another thing, as we're working on our business, you never know where you're going to get a call. Just got a call on Monday where one of my agents, she is doing some social media advertising, and she has an appointment for a listing appointment for potentially a $700,000 property in our city. And this person wants to sell her property and go buy a property. And I told her she's been one of my ones in the office cleaning up everything. And what we did was we got her all cleaned up and still working on some things to help her social media. And she already got a call already. So what I'm doing is right now, this is the time to start really looking at your foundation, making sure that if it's a little shaky, got some cracks in it, that you're filling those cracks, that you're looking great, that you have updated pictures. They're updating their pictures. You guys, I know we looked great 15 pounds ago. Okay. But let's get updated, okay? Because sometimes
Yes.
look a little different, right? So we're updating pictures, updating bios, things like that to make sure we're relevant. Any designations or certifications they have, they're working on that again as they're making these phone calls and contacting people within their database.
I love that. And I'll add on to that. This is a really good time for you to be working in your CRM right now,
Yes.
setting up your systems. Really, the only way you're going to be able to take your business to the next level, wherever you are, is to have more systems in place so that you can keep everything, track everything, automate as many things as you can. And then once you get a system, it's easy to be able to delegate it to other people as you grow. So systems are key, and getting into your CRM and setting all that stuff up can take some time to
Yes.
kind of understand, what do I do when I get a buyer? Well, what do I do when I have a seller, and how does that work in my CRM? And actually, I'll just quickly, let me show my screen here, and I'll show just a couple things for you as I see some questions coming in. When you I think one of the big systems that people are talking about is managing their time, and so use a day planner, you guys. You can just make sure that your day planner syncs with your phone, and Wise Agent, that's what we do, and we'll help you get that going. You don't have to put every single thing on your day planner, but make sure you got your appointments on your day planner. So if that's not one of your current systems, make using a day planner system. But the transactions, you have to be ready when you get buyers or sellers. You have to have your ducks in a row and know what are you gonna do on those for those transactions. So in Wise Agent, if I scroll down the page, you can see the leads, the tasks. We talked about calls, so there's a special place that you can organize, set up all your calls, put all your J's in there, and then go through and make those calls, and then add the notes. Adding notes is another key thing to growing your business, because if you just take a minute and put your conversation or your transaction notes as you go, it will save you so much time down the road when you wonder, wait, when did I have that call or that conversation? But then there's also a spot in Wise Agent right on the homepage that shows you your transactions. And here, if I go click on a buyer or a listing transaction, it's going to open up that checklist. And this is a major system that you need to have figured out before you get busy. Is, hey, when I have a new buyer, I can just start filling in the blanks, and you can add as many critical dates or fields in here as you want. But it's going to walk you through everything you need to do. And as you do each of these steps and check it off, it'll date stamp it. If you're on a team, you can schedule events, each task for different players on the checklist. And you can also set up triggers. So this makes it really easy when you're working with buyers or sellers. That is what sellers' number one thing they complain about is, I listed with them and then I didn't hear from them at all, and then they got a nice commission check. Even in the background, you did so much work, but you just weren't telling them. Well, now we can create, while we have time, create emails or text messages that say, hey, I stopped by your house and we put a sign up today. Here's how that's going to help sell your house. We stopped by and we added flyers, or we put a lockbox on. All the little things you do, and then you can have a trigger set up. When you check that off and you did it, it'll automatically text or email your client and let them know. And it can even text your assistant or whoever and let them know, hey, now it's time for you to go put flyers under the sign. So you can have all this automated and set up. And then if you have 4 or 5 transactions going at one time, you open up your checklist and you know what's been done on each transaction and what still needs to be done. You scroll down and you can see who all the important players were. There's a spot you can track, have all the documents stored, and then all the notes. So just a quick little share there on setting up systems inside of Wise Agent, and that would be for your transactions, because we did get a lot of questions about that.
I love that. I think that it is imperative that you have systems. One of the few things, or many things that many people don't learn when they get into this business is the importance of having something set up. And this is the time to do so. Don't slow down on working on your business, but find the time. I had someone come talk to my office, a friend of mine, he's out of Washington State. His name is Jeff Smart, and he came or virtually came to the office, and he taught my agents about the 2-hour workday. And he said, just take 2 hours that you're going to sit down and focus on work, whether it's prospecting, updating your CRM, whatever it is that you're doing. And what happens is, as you begin to work on things like that, you'll start finding yourself more active, more productive. You can find time if you want to set an hour out to say, you know what, I'm going to learn a little bit more about my Wise agent. I'm going to learn how to set up a newsletter. I'm going to set up my newsletter. I'll contact support, do whatever it is that I need to do. I'm going to understand the transaction list, things like that. The more you are confident in those things that you are working in and understanding, it makes you more powerful when it's time for you to gather those clients, because you already have things in place.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think going and looking at the inventory right now, just getting good at opening lock. If you're new, how do you open up each lockbox? Where do you find all the lockboxes?
Yes.
How do you walk through a house and give a tour? Just do practices, on your own and get familiar with the neighborhoods. And that's you should be familiar because you're the pro. That's how you get familiar with them.
Absolutely. And I want to give I do want to give a resource. I love resources. If you all are not using RPR, which is Realtor Property Resource, if you are a realtor, you pay dues to the National Association of Realtors. This is a member benefit. They have tools in there that you can use. You don't pay anything extra because, again, it's a member benefit that you can use and do what you call a market trends report. And what that will do is let you know the inventory in your area. It'll let you know how many months of supply that we have. What is the average in your area? And it updates itself every month. So that way you have current information. It's something that I train on. I teach agents. I teach my agents. I have one agent. She takes that information, and every month she puts it out there on her social media. She'll do a video, or they even supply a Canva template. And even if you don't have a paid Canva account, they have a free Canva template where you can just go in and plug and play. So that is one of the greatest tools, and they have great reports. I don't get paid to say this. I'm just letting you know they have great reports. And I'll tell people this. I say, don't complain about, oh, I have to pay dues to NAR. It's worth it. Do you know how many listings? Matter of fact, I'm going on a listing appointment in a few days. Guess what I do? I take that information, I put it together. It creates the report for you, so it makes you look good with graphs and information about the neighborhood and all of that. And then I bring it in to the appointment. So that's another tool that I strongly suggest. You can go to narrpr.com. It is a member benefit. Use it. They have plenty of webinars and things to help you understand, trainings to help you go through. And the trainings are an hour, so you can do it on your own time or sign up for their live webinars. But I'll tell you, it is worth all of your dues. If you get nothing else out of it, out of your NAR dues, I believe that's one of the greatest things that you get out of it, because it'll help you build.
Good. We all need to hear what we should be doing with those dues, and that adds value. So
yes.
There you go. That's a great tip. And with that, when you create those reports or those property reports, guess who else wants to know about it? Everyone in that neighborhood wants to know what's going on in their neighborhood. So we put it on social. But if you've been work in a neighborhood and you've got in your Wise Agent account a list of names and contact addresses, you can send those as emails, and we'll help you format it very easily in Wise Agent, so you can just pull up each neighborhood and hit send, and send them the reports, send them any information about what's going on in my neighborhood. I want to know, and yeah, I may not reply back to you right away, but even 3 years from now, when I'm ready to sell, if you're the one that's constantly emailing me, or I'm seeing your face on my Facebook, just sharing information like that, that's how you stay top of mind. And when I am ready, that's how I pick who I want to work with, and I feel like even if we don't have a relationship, I feel like I know you because I've been watching you. Like she said, I'm watching. So
Absolutely.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
great advice. Let's see, and I think we kind of have already gone over, but in your 19-year experience, how has building and maintaining relationships with clients evolved from what you used to do, and what are your secrets for staying top of mind? I think you kind of went over that, but how have you seen it evolve when you first started to what you're doing now, staying in touch?
Well, I've always been a relational type person. I always thought that it was wrong that we as realtors, I see people do it all the time. It's transactional. They finish a
Yeah.
transaction, they walk away from the client, never hear from them. And then when times are slow, they're wondering why they have no business. A lot of people, they prefer to just buy leads. And a lot of times people buy leads and they don't nurture those leads before and even after. So for me, it's always been important to make sure that if somebody used me, they chose me to be their agent, that I made sure that I stay in touch with them. And most of my agents, or sorry, most of my clients, past clients, clients that I haven't even closed on, that I've been working on that for whatever reason, potential clients, I should say, or prospects, leads, we link up on social media and they follow me, I follow them, I comment on their things, they comment on my things. And I always stay top of mind. I check in on them just to see how they're doing. If I see like a life event, one of my people that I've been working with, unfortunately, the market, she outgrew the market, or the market outgrew her in a sense because prices started going up. We remained friends, and she had a surgery. I was checking on her, making sure she's good. She uses my son, who's a licensed barber. She brings her son to my son, and now she raves about how great my son is. So it's all about building relationships and genuine relationships. Not that I'm building these so that they can give me business, but of course we have to still eat, but I want to stay in contact with them. So that's the big thing. And I know I keep harping on social media, but what a great way to stay in front of your clients at all times. People say, oh, I want to be separate. Look, they want to know who you are. They want to know that you are a real person living a real life, and so being able to do that and them seeing, what I do, even I'm having a huge event this weekend for my nonprofit. Two of my clients, one of them, I met them through real estate. She retired. She sent me her daughter-in-law who's been helping me with my nonprofit for the last 3 years. We just closed a deal with her 3 weeks ago. And this is all from community. Like out the blue, I got a call. Hey, come, I'm looking at selling my property. I'm like, what? So it's been genuine relationships, and I stay in front of my clients and potential clients, and you just never know what's going to come out of it. So social media is definitely the way.
Over and over, it's about building relationships,
Building
and
relationships. Yep.
so social media has just made that a lot easier
Yes.
now.
It's
But then
free.
you can hear that's not the only avenue she's using. She's also picking up the phone, and she's having personal touches as well, face to face. So you kind of there's a good mixture of it all. And we see the statistics over and over every year of how many people were happy with their realtor and would have used them again, but they never kept in touch, and they didn't even get emails or texts from them, and those are things that you should do no matter what, because it's automated and easy. As soon as you close a transaction with someone, well, then you remove them from your current marketing and you put them on the follow-up forever marketing that you should be doing. And that's basically, you can create easy drip campaigns that we've already got done for you. You can go in Wise Agent and create those and set them up to email and text them ongoing. For whatever scenarios, you can categorize them different categories, different kinds of people, so you can market towards their interests, staying in touch, and then you don't just rely on that, but now that's just an extra they see. And in the newsletter, we make a newsletter for our members every single month in English. We have a Spanish version. It's done for you, ready to go. And you can take it and edit as much as you want, but it's as quick as just grabbing it and sending it to your database. And we'll tell you over and over, we hear people say newsletters don't work, and they're right. They don't work if you don't send them out.
If you don't
But
send them out.
if you send them, they don't. It's not something that works immediately. It's the consistency. If you've after a year or two, we get so many testimonials of people saying, man, all I do with Wise, I only use this one feature and I get business from it every month now, but it took 2 years of doing it before I got any business. So it does work, and it doesn't even matter if they like what's on the newsletter or not. Some people take a lot of time and customize them, and some people just send it out as is, and it seems to work either way. So
Yeah, I want to share with the audience about that. You just stated something, no tool you have will work if you don't use it, right? So I was talking to a friend of mine because I just switched over to Wise Agent recently, because the other one I was using was just it was just too much going on, too much confusion, no help. So I went over to Wise Agent, And a friend of mine, we were talking and she was like, oh, I think I'm about to cancel my Wise agent. I was like, why not? She was like, well, I don't really utilize it. I said, let me tell you something. So I started telling her all the exciting things that I had learned about Wise agent. She decided to stay. She contacted support. And this is literally within the last 3 weeks. Contacted support, support helped her get everything set up. She has all of her past clients set up. She sent out her very first email to all of her past clients. She ended up with a potential buyer and a potential seller. She got a listing appointment from the templates that were already set up in the system. So I just share that because it works if you work your system. So I just wanted to, I don't think I shared that with you, Brendan, but
I love hearing that.
yeah, so it works.
And I see we're getting questions about that. And just so you know, we have amazing customer support. We have our success team standing by to do one-on-one Zooms with you all and help you get, you don't have to learn the whole system all at once. Everything is easy to learn, but just learn what you need to know today and we'll help you to set these drip campaigns up. We've already got the content for you and you can easily go and edit it. And we've also got our AI writing assistant, the write in Wise Agents. So you can say, hey, I need to write a letter to stay in touch with, or I need to write 15 emails to stay in touch with past clients, and it'll write them all for you. And then you just take them and set them up, and you can even talk about, and I live in Flagstaff, Arizona, and I'm marketing to this neighborhood, and it'll be very localized. So that's where you can really take advantage of AI. We do have a lot of content already in Spanish too. I see a lot of those coming out, as well as I mentioned our newsletter in Spanish, and we have support in Spanish. So we're really going big on that. And we just got back from the National Association of Hispanic Real Estate Professional Conference that was also in your somewhere over there in California. I was in your neighborhood, but
yeah, I think it was in San Diego.
Whenever we hear California, we think, oh, you must be right there.
Yeah, no, actually, and I'm only an hour from San Diego, so
okay.
it wasn't too far.
You were there, okay. Yeah. And you mentioned the lead generation and lead conversion, and that was definitely another question we got. In my market, lead generation has slowed way down. How can realtors and brokers improve their lead conversion rates to make the most of leads they are currently getting?
So I would definitely suggest that you stay involved and invested into the real estate market. And when I say that, meaning that you're staying up to date with what's happening. Right now, one of the biggest talks that we're having is about what's happening with, the proposed settlement through NAR. And a lot of people have no clue of what's happening, what's going on. So I did a video and I had probably close to 1,000 people watch the video where I was explaining to them about the real estate market and how this works. How does this affect buyers? How does this affect sellers? Because there's so much negativity out there about our industry and people are spreading false news, fake news, they are not giving the right information. But guess what's happening is drawing our people to what's not real. And if you go to facts.realtor, FACTS, .realtor, they have tools that you can send out in newsletters and information about it. So that way you get familiar so you can read about it, and they have things for the consumer and you can send your clients to that website as well. So that's something that's relevant. You have to stay relevant. Don't just talk about, oh, we got this many homes in the market. Oh, your house could be worth this. They want information. For example, there's people out there that really want to purchase a house, but they don't know how to go about it. They don't even know, they may not have credit. So you may talk about what credit is or interview someone to talk about how to help someone get their credit scores, to a lender about the financial aspect, to an inspector. Maybe you can meet an inspector one day at a property that you may have listed, or somebody in your brokerage, or maybe talk to one of your brokerage friends, or even a new home build, and go talk about on video, what do you do at a home inspection? Because people always ask those questions. What do I do? So giving relevant information pertaining to how to purchase a house, how to get a home ready, things like that is important. Video, I'm telling you, I know a lot of people are like, I don't like to do video. Get over it. Just do it. You don't even have to show your face. You can talk over things. They have AI and all kinds of stuff that'll talk for you. You type information in and they talk to you about it. So, or talk for you. So what you do is you have to get creative, but don't do what everybody else is doing, which is, hey, your house is worth this today. No, how do I get into a house? What is it? What if it doesn't look like it's achievable? What are some statistics that you can give me? So things like that will help you stay relevant, because they're going to want more from you and they're going to expect more from you, and people will call you.
Yes, and reuse that content. Those videos, once you do it once, it stays relevant for a long time and people will find it on YouTube. But then you can also take it and turn that into an email and send it out to, you know, if you have to whoever is targeted at. As far as the lead conversion, speed to lead is still a huge thing. So I don't know, do you buy any leads, or is everything just organic for you and referral?
No. Yeah, I tried to buy leads, but then the market got saturated with everybody doing the same. I do have a system that I can use that I paid into. I got a lot of leads, but I didn't convert well, so I just let it go.
There you go. So there's different people you talk to are doing different things and finding what works. She was saying Popple, you know, her business card, she's already getting leads from that, and we just turned that on and they're flowing right in. So I thought I would show real quick how you could set up your lead system to make sure that when leads are coming in, and it doesn't matter if they're coming in from your website, from any kind of free lead conversions you have out there. If you have forms, you're using Wise Agent landing pages. We have all kinds of landing pages that you can take our landing pages and put out there on the internet and capture leads from for all different scenarios. And we have a team standing by that can help you set those up. But wherever you're getting these from, or if you're buying them from Zillow or Realtor.com, under the button called contacts over here, if you go to lead rules, we've got a whole process that you can, again, right now is a perfect time to be setting it up while you have a little extra time. This is setting up one of your systems, and this would be a system when leads come in. And the way to do this the right way is each different source of leads should have a different system for it. So you're not talking to the people that you're meeting at an open house the same as you're talking to the leads you're getting from Zillow. So what you do is that you create that source, and then you can set up the rules right now before you even have a lead coming in. If I'm anyone that comes in off of my website or off of that landing page for my open house or off of my realtor.com or whatever it is, when those leads come in, I want to automatically put them on this 10-day conversion plan or this 20-day, or, you know, and that could be a mixture of emails and texts. And again, we've got the content ready and we've got the tool to help you write that content or edit ours. And then categories are such a big deal, you guys. As you're getting people in, it's good to know what category. Are they sellers? Are they potential buyers? Are these just lookers from your open house? You know, so you can categorize those, and this is all automated, and it just makes it easier a month from now to say, let me grab everyone in this category and send this thing I made from Canva. You know, so you can use those categories. It's so important. Add them to your call list. So then, you know, hey, as soon as I come in the morning, those leads might came in overnight, and I can see everyone I need to call today. So calling them, picking up the phone. So we're not just doing the automated stuff. We want you picking up the phone and calling them and putting your notes in. But then you can also set up, what is that email going to look like that goes out, you know, and of course we've got it in there, and it'll be important to use their name and use where they came from. You were at my open house, you know, and so you can send them a text as they're leaving the open house. It'll start and say, hey, thank you. It was nice meeting you today. And then that night they can get an email saying, you know, I just wanted to follow up with you, make sure you had all my information. So really getting your name and face in front of them so they remember you are the expert in your neighborhood. The text messages, you know, this is all just setting up ones to automate it. We do have an AI bot, and that's a really cool tool that you can turn on. This is going to be selective of the audience. So you would say, hey, this ad I'm running is targeting buyers or sellers. And when a lead comes in from that, I want the AI bot to reach out to them and start a text message conversation, and it will talk to them for up to a whole year. And when it has them ready to convert, it'll tell you and let you know, hey, Kama, it's time for you to take over this conversation. And even the guest we had last week on our podcast, he's an expert at this, and he talked about it, and he's converted many deals, closed many deals because of that AI bot. So that's a good one to go back and listen to. And then another really cool thing I just want to mention right now, we just added a brand new tool. It's been asked about a lot by brokers and team leaders, and we went live with it yesterday on the distribution side, and that's where now I'm a broker, a team leader, and I'm getting a lot of leads coming in one way or another, whether I'm buying them or creating them, and I want to distribute those out to the right people in my office. You can do it many different ways, by day of the week, by zip code, round robin them. But the way we've been, that people have been asking that we haven't had, that we went live with yesterday, is the Shark Tank. And that's kind of the one where you can put anyone in your office into a group, and then anytime a lead comes in from this source, you can say, drop it in there, and then whoever's ready and available to work on that lead right now, they can grab it, and the first one that grabs it gets to work that lead. And that'll send out a text and an email to everyone that's in that Shark Tank, letting them know, hey, there's a new lead in there, and so they can grab it right from their text message or from their email, or if they're in Wise Agent, right on the top, they'll see, hey, we've got 2 Shark Tank leads here, and I can go in and say, okay, I want to claim this one, and then after I claim it, it's mine, and then I can go open that contact up and see the details and start getting more details about that lead, whatever was collecting on it. So that's just a quick little update for you on a new tool, but also kind of want to show you how set up that system for lead conversion, because the systems really do help.
They do. They do. I remember when Zillow had first came out, and I was looking at some things, and I said, what are people doing? Because you have to be like the first one on and all that stuff. And they had things automated. It was already done. They were able to automate it. And it's super, super, super important. And I wanted to mention open houses are still relevant. Okay. If you all are not doing open houses, you're missing out. Even if it's not your own. Now, I will say this, because some people say, oh, we can't do somebody else's open house. That's broker policy. If your broker allows it and you guys don't have open houses, you guys search for them. You'll be surprised how many brand new home builds will allow you to do an open house on their standing inventory. Again, get creative. Don't think surface, think subsurface. How deep can you go when it comes to marketing and getting business? But that's important. When these days, when people walk out of a property, you want to make sure you have some, they put their information in. I tell my agents, you should be texting them before they can start their car up. You know why? Because they're going to go down the street and they're going to talk to that agent that already has things set up. And you want to leave a lasting impression. It is absolutely important. One of my agents did an open house on my property, the one I just talked about, I closed. He went and door knocked the area to let him know, because he did all the open houses in the area. He ended up with 2 potential buyers. One buyer, they wanted the property, they didn't qualify. The person only qualified for about $225 in California. I said, well, let's just see if there's anything out there for that price. And I'll tell you, he just got an offer accepted last week, because he stayed in contact with his client, put him in the CRM, did everything I told him to do. And he has been under contract for the last 5 days with this particular buyer because of the steps I told him to do. You guys have systems, understand the systems. What do you do when somebody tells you that they can only qualify for something low, and you're like, oh, there's no business out there? You go find it. You go and you find it and you make it happen. So all that to say is, find these systems, build it, put that information into Wise Agent. Like, that was one of the things that actually really attracted me to officially move over, because of that automated point of making sure that I'm able to respond right away. Because these days, just like with phones, right? If somebody doesn't text you within 5 minutes, some folks are freaking out, right? So we want to be just as quick as other people are in their business, so we can maintain and retain the business that we potentially can get.
Yeah, and we all want everything to happen immediately, but in real estate, a lot of the things that you're saying is delayed gratification. You're going to be putting the work in now, and it's going to pay off down the road, sometimes months, or even in her case, years down the road. Yeah. But it was a $2 million deal, so it didn't matter if it took a couple of years. And then guess what that leads to? Referrals and repeat business. So if you do it right, and the open houses, you all, we're hearing a lot of people, that is what they're going through right now, and it is working. So just know that you can use technology in open houses too. You do all the things, make sure you're putting the signs up. But like I said, I'll just share this real quick. We have a whole section of landing pages, and basically what a landing page is now when someone walks into your open house, instead of having them sign up on a piece of paper that when you get home and you're tired, you have to go put everything in, give them an iPad or have them pull up. You can even have a QR code and they can scan it and fill it in there from their own phone and just say, hey, you know, the guest is requesting that we get a little information before you walk through. They don't have a hard time, but if it's digital, you get a lot more information in 1 minute than you're trying to read their bad handwriting and figure out what their phone number is from that. So you can set these up whatever you want, ask a bunch of yes or no questions, but it just makes it easy for them to go in, put their name, their email, are they a buyer or seller, just a neighbor looking, whatever you want to ask. And then when they hit submit, all that information is immediate put in your Wise Agent account, is put in the right category. You know where they came from, and now your system, you should already, before you even hold that open house, you've already pre-thought out, everyone that stops at my open house today, I'm going to set up this drip campaign and these marketing for the next 3 months. And so you don't even have to do that. When you're done with the open house, you get your signs, you go have dinner, and you know that everyone that just stopped by is already getting your texts, your emails, they're in touch. And when you get in the office tomorrow, you're going to have a call list of people you need to follow up with.
Well, I have a question. So on that, are they able to change the picture in the background to maybe
Oh,
the
absolutely.
home that they're open house doing? Absolutely.
Yes, we highly recommend. We make it very easy to do that. And again, we have an amazing support team. So don't struggle with it for any time. You can click on our knowledge base, and it'll show you how. We've got a blog with step-by-step, usually videos of everything. But we've also got a support team standing by. They can show you how to do it. And once you do it once, then every time you hold an open house, you'll be like, oh, I know how to put my picture in now. It's very easy. So just let us walk you through it one time, and then you'll be good to go. And it'll change the results and the stress of doing an open house, because right now, if you're still using pen and paper, when you get home, we know what you're doing. You're in your CRM trying to read all that handwriting and add the stuff, and you're not getting as much information as you could have if you were just using new technology that's out there today ready for you.
Absolutely. Well, can I just mention, I seen something in the chat a moment ago. Someone was asking about, like, what do you use for keeping key dates for your business? And I just wanted to, if that person is still listening in, and for those that are listening, the system that I use, it automatically comes into my Google Calendar. And what happens is also when I go into Wise Agent, it's already in there as well, because everything is all together. So I use a system called Glide. Some people may use other, things that they use, Sky Slope, things like that. But I'll tell you, it is imperative to make sure you have an electronic calendar. And my Google Calendar, the way I have it set up, is that anything I do, I knew I was going to be speaking. So it reminds me of the day before, and it also reminds me 30 minutes before. So I went into the back of Google of my calendar, and I set that all of my reminders will give me at least 2 reminders. So that way I remember. So like, we have to remove contingencies and things like that. That's what we do in California. So I know the day before, if I don't see something come over, guess what? It's now time to give my person to perform, whoever, if I'm the listing agent, give that buyer's agent a notice to perform. So it really keeps me on track. And I love that all of my calendars are in sync, and I don't have to go to Wise Agent, then Google, then Glide. Everything is all in sync, and it gives me a reminder. So that is, I do use what I have. And I will tell you, you all, whatever system you're using, at least know the functionalities of it, even the minor things like calendar usage. How can you, I don't know, the information here with the CRM, the landing pages, take it one bite at a time, right? They say, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. We're not eating elephants, but one bite at a time. You take it and learn little by little every single day until you get it and understand it, and don't get overwhelmed with all of this information, because it's been a lot today. Don't get overwhelmed with the information. Take what it is that resonates with you, and then go learn a little bit more about it.
That's some wise advice right there for you all. I think, and a big thing that I'm hearing is a lot of this stuff that she's doing, this has been working for years. And everything that we heard today is, there's nothing that's hard. It's all easy. It's using a day planner. You all know you should all be taking notes after every conversation. You should all be making your calls. But the thing is, that's what separates the people that are really doing the business right now from the ones that aren't, is actually doing all these simple things, but doing them all, and keeping it going on a consistent basis. So I know this was so good, Tom. I see we're getting right to the end here, and we had a lot more questions here that were really good, but we covered a lot fast. The time ran out. So just I want to make sure that you all know, if we didn't get your questions answered on this, we will be emailing each one of you with the answers to your question and a video or any details that we have to make that easy for you. Thank you so much, Colin, for being with us. And I'm going to definitely have you back on in the future, because I can see that we have a lot more questions for you, and everyone really enjoyed it. So thank you so much. And where are we gonna see you coming up? You're speaking all over.
I do. I'm actually, I have quite a few things going on locally at my local association. If anybody is in the Inland Empire or even Los Angeles of California, I will be speaking at the Inland Valleys Association of Realtors on Monday and Tuesday, going through the ABR class, which is the Accredited Buyer Representative class. It is a 2-day course. It's free. You all, NAR has made it free for us to get this. It's normally $295. It is from 9 to 4 both days, so you do have to stay for the time. It is a great time to get it in while it is free. So we'll be hosting that. If you want more information, they'll give you my information, and you don't have to be a part of our association to be a part of it. We just need we'll just need your DRE number. So that's something that's coming up. I have some more local things I'm doing, ethics courses I'm teaching as well. But I will be in Boston at the National Association of Realtors speaking on Saturday morning about the power of visibility. So I'll be speaking on in the expo hall. I'll be speaking for Get.Realtor. That's where you can go grab your free website, Get.Realtor, that they give you. If you don't have a website, get it. Make sure you get in contact with me and I can get you more information. So I'll be talking about the power of visibility, which is going to be great, because then you can take that visibility and marry it with your wise agent. So if you want to continue to follow me, they'll have my information there. You can also go to commaspeaks.com and kind of see where I'm at. It's a website in progress. And guess what I used? I used Canva for free, as I just paid for somebody else to do my website, but I use it for free until I can get what I needed. But commaspeaks.com has where I'll be speaking and training.
Speaks.com, and we will make sure that information is in the emails as well as we send out the recording for this. And we will also be in Boston for the National Association of Realtors Conference and have a booth there. So make sure you stop by the Wise Agent booth. We'll have a lot of swag there for y'all to pick up. And thank you so much, everybody, for staying with us and joining us for the podcast today. And we will see you on the next round.
Yes. Thank you.